and welcome back to the Yogi Blair YouTube channel. My last class that I provided for you was a vinyasa or flow style of class. So today I wanted to slow it down a little bit and give you something that I like to incorporate in my Vin-Yin or my regular Yin classes or restorative Yin. We're going to do a legs up the wall class today that I think you'll really enjoy. So making sure that our mat is long ways on the floor with the short end up against a wall that you can put your legs up, making sure there are no obstructions like photos or anything else on the wall. I recommend for any sort of Yin or restorative or slow class, bringing a long sleeve shirt with you, making sure that you are warm, because when we're moving through faster classes we get hot, we think tank tops, shorts. These slower classes we tend to get chilly, so even having some socks, maybe even turning on a space heater in the room that you're in, just to really allow you to relax. You can even bring a blanket with you, like I have here. Just to keep to the side if you need a little extra cushion or anything of that nature. So let's get started today in Sukhasana, or easy seat. And Sukhasana is traditionally done by bringing one sole of the foot to the opposite inner thigh, and then bringing the other shin in front and bringing that sole of the foot to that shin. So the shins are parallel here, not necessarily crossing the legs, but if that's more comfortable for you, you can do that. You could also take Padmasana or lotus if that is in your practice, or if you want to try a half lotus, bringing one sole of the foot into the hip crease. Lining up that sacrum to where the wall meets the floor, and stacking the spine along the wall, using that wall to keep you lifted, bringing the back of the head to rest. So we have a gentle tuck to the chin here. Closing the eyes. Palms can face up or down. Up if you need to receive a little energy. Down if you need to ground some of that energy. And just taking a moment here. Listening to the sounds around you, whether you're in your living room or your office. Maybe you can hear the sounds of cars going by. Maybe you can hear the sound of people outside or dogs barking. Becoming aware of the room you're in now. Noticing smells, sounds, maybe the white noise of a fan, or the dishwasher running, or the fridge. And then letting all of those sounds, smells, everything around you fall away. Bringing your awareness inward to the physical body. So no longer paying attention to the stimuli around us, withdrawing from the senses, and just noticing the physical body, any sensation, whether it's tension or pain. Always being mindful in our practice of these areas. Honoring our body and our space, not forcing anything that doesn't feel right. Anytime you feel numbness, pain, pinching, or tingling, that is a sign that you should come out of a posture or ease off of your edge a little bit. Noticing any sensations in the body from the crown of the head all the way to the tips of the toes. And then bringing our awareness deeper from the physical plane, the Annamaya Kosha, to the energetic space, or the Pranamaya Kosha. Prana means life force. And the life force of our body is our breath. So not just noticing your energy levels and how you're feeling, but also being aware of the breath. And at first, just noticing the breath and noticing if you feel tired or energetic, restless. Noticing if you're breathing shallow, anything energetically within the body, just being aware. And then focusing solely on the breath, trying to elongate the breath. Breathing in and out of the nose throughout our practice. Taking nice, deep, diaphragmatic, yogic breaths. And then bringing our awareness from the breath to the mental space, or the Manomaya Kosha. Noticing what you brought with you to class today. Any emotions, thoughts. Trying to allow them to fall away. Staying focused on that breath to allow the thoughts to come and go. And we're going to move into our first posture. So if you're in lotus or half lotus, maybe coming to a more easy seated posture. And we're going to turn the body slightly. So we're more at a diagonal. Taking our left hand first, seeing if you can walk it behind you. Sliding up to the wall. Trying to get a twist here. Seeing if we can get that shoulder on the wall. Gaze can be back towards the shoulder, or if that's uncomfortable, maybe gazing down at the left knee or up straight ahead. If this is too intense, walking that hand down will alleviate some of that pressure. If you have a shoulder injury in the rotator cuff, I would suggest bringing the hand forward and maybe twisting into it that way, even sitting straight and twisting in, finding an edge there. And then releasing that left hand, rotating to the right side. And walking that right hand back, trying to line the hip to the wall, line the shoulder to the wall. You can even take your opposite hand and bring it to the wall for a little more support. cat-cows at the wall here. So coming onto the knees and bringing the hands so that the shoulders and the wrists are in line. You can walk the knees back a little bit if we need to. Rounding. Pressing out of the hands and out of the shoulders. Bringing the gaze down to really arch through the back. Inhaling. Throwing the head back a little bit, arching through the low back. And we're going to find our first posture here. So coming to the mat, lining your hip right up to where the wall and the floor meet. And we're just going to swing the legs up the wall. Reclining on our mat. Hands can be at the belly. You can take up some space, teeing out the arms. Maybe closing the eyes here. This is an excellent posture for depression and anxiety. Noticing how this posture feels. This is a very calming posture. Maybe imagining negative energy leaving through the soles of the feet. You can hold this pose for up to 10 minutes. And the longer you do it, the more frequently you do it, you'll notice a difference. This is also a bit of an inversion. And after your next exhale, sliding those heels down, allowing gravity to do the work here. Opening the hips, this is an intense stretch, being mindful. We'll be here about 2 minutes or so. Hands can still be wide, you can bring them to the belly. Closing the eyes anytime you come to a posture that is uncomfortable. Always returning to the breath, focusing on the breath, allowing the breath to be your guide. Noticing after some time if your edge has changed. If not, that's okay. But a lot of times as you hold postures for 3 to 5 minutes, you work into the deep tissues of the body and you are able to find more space. they need it. And we're just gonna bring the feet together, bringing the soles to the mat, sliding the legs down the wall for an Apanasana at the wall. Knees to chest. So you can bring the hands to the shins and apply a little gentle pressure if that feels good. You're gonna feel this in the front of the hip creases here. Maybe imagine sending breath to any areas of tightness. And thinking of on the exhale, releasing tension. This pose can be held for up to 5 minutes. Feeling free to pause this video at any time and holding postures a little longer if they feel good to you, or if you want to work that area a little more. After your next exhale, we're going to bring the soles of the feet to touch for Baddha Konasana or bound angle at the wall. So the more intense the stretch, the heels are going to be closer to the midline of the body. Less intense, move those heels up the wall a little more. You can also move the hips further away from the wall if this is too intense. Sending those knees towards the wall, maybe even using the hands to add a little pressure, but not necessary. Honoring our space. This pose can be held for 3 to 5 minutes. Returning to the breath. Bringing those knees in, maybe windshield wipering to reset the hips. We're gonna find wall pigeon. So first sending the left leg up the wall, bringing the right foot so that the pinky edge of the foot is on the left thigh. Flexing through that foot so that it is flat, creating a figure 4. Then we're going to bring that left sole of the foot to the wall. And then feeling free to slide that foot down as far as you can. You may need to walk the hips away from the wall, especially if you've got longer legs or tighter hips. In my hour classes, I typically hold this posture for 3 to 4 minutes on each side. But you can hold as little as 1 minute if this is uncomfortable for you and you need to come out sooner. In my flow classes towards the end, I'll typically hold for 1, and if we're doing yin or a slower class, I'll hold it a little longer. Releasing that foot, sending those legs up the wall, shaking them out, and then bringing the left sole of the foot, pinky edge to the thigh, flexing through the foot, bringing the right sole of the foot to the wall, And sliding that foot down the wall until you find your edge, that spot where you feel the best stretch without any pain. Sending breath to the hips, exhaling tension. And releasing that foot, sending it up the wall. Maybe shaking out the hips, maybe bending the knees, windshield wipering the legs. And then we'll send those legs just up the wall. Noticing how the hips feel. And then let's bring those soles of the feet to the wall, taking them wide for a happy baby at the wall. So sliding the feet with the soles of the feet on the wall, sending the knees almost in towards the underarms. Walking the feet up the wall if this becomes too intense. I typically hold my happy babies for 2 to 3 minutes in a slow class like this. And then bringing the knees together, we're just going to walk the feet down for a twist at the wall. We can tee out those hands again. You can grab your blanket. Maybe looking over the left shoulder here. This is another great posture for anxiety. It also helps aid in digestion. Inhale to bring the hands up and bringing them back down. Looking over the opposite shoulder. Making sure that we breathe in our twists. In my classes, I typically hold these for 2.5 minutes on each side, but you can hold these for up to 5 minutes. They're very relaxing. Maybe noticing how you feel right now, especially if you've paused and held these postures a little longer. Noticing if any anxiety has fallen away. Inhale, coming up, setting up for your Shavasana. So you can go long on your mat for a typical Shavasana, or you can do legs up the wall for Shavasana. Closing the eyes, Maybe grabbing your blanket, curling up, getting cozy. And just taking a few moments here in your Shavasana. Returning to your breath. Practicing withdrawal from the senses or pratyahara. And as you set up for Shavasana, I'd like to share my mantra that I use in all of my group classes. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And that means I wish happiness and freedom to all living things, and may the words, thoughts, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to happiness and freedom for all. Friends, thank you for joining me on your mat in your living room today. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.